This is a story about an American hero. He's now living on one of these fishing boats, as he's retired now. Once upon a time, along the California coast, there was a little boy who wandered into a little airport and kept looking at the airplanes. It was a very, very remote town along America's west coast. And the town that has the world's biggest trees. Great fishing. And one man walked up to him and said, "Hey boy, you want to go for a ride in one of them there airplanes?" "Sure, mister." So he hopped in and they gave him a ride. Well, that boy was a foster boy who later adopted 38 children and had 38 foster children under his roof. This man wound up being an American hero. He flew President Johnson in Air Force One as his pilot. He was in the Cuban Missile Crisis. He flew over Canada for 30 years looking for lost Americans. And yes, he flew in the Vietnam War on top secret Special Forces SOG missions. So this is a story about Art Aho. Who now has retired to this sleepy little harbor along the coast where his life began. But now you know the rest of the story about this American hero who served America all over the world, right up to be the president's pilot. There's one story where he felt some vibrations in the president's plane. He was flying a foreign dignitary from Africa. And he went back there and they were doing the limbo dance under swords. And Art said something to the effect, "Oh, you're having some fun back here, I see, Mr. President," and laughed it off. So he's had quite an interesting career. Again, the biggest thing he did was fly rescue missions over the vast expanses of Canada. Huge territory up there, looking for lost Americans, hunters, fishermen. And then the Cuban Missile Crisis. And then the Vietnam War, to include Laos and Cambodia. All these top secret SOG missions he was on. Special Operations Group, Special Forces. And CIA missions. And now, and he was also in Cuba, the Cuban crisis, and then flew the presidents. And now he's retired and enjoying the rest of his life, just got married. And he's up there in years, over 70, I guess. Handsome, rugged man. But just one of the most inspirational stories I've ever heard. The story about Art Aho, the quiet man, the humble man that flew for America his whole life and started off as a little boy in a little harbor town along the west coast. There was a foster kid that again adopted 38 foster kids and just was fascinated at the airport in this little logging town, and would see the planes taking off and just was fascinated by him and just look at him and gaze at him and wonder. And someone gave him a ride in an airplane, and next thing you knew it, he was America's best pilot. So that's the story of Art Aho, an American hero on the west coast of America. We wanted to share that with you because he's too humble to do so. But I saw the story in the local media, and I couldn't resist. It was just the most incredible story I've ever heard. and I met the man. The man's just an incredible, humble, kind, nice, loving individual. So we give a salute to Art Hale, the American hero that served America for his whole lifetime, to the highest levels of the presidency of the United States, to be his personal pilot for President Johnson. So that's our American hero, and this Adventure Man Productions salute to America's finest soldiers and servants. Y'all come back now here. So many places to see, so little time. God bless America.